Hello, everyone. I'm John Berman.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kate Baldwin. You do not need to look at the calendar. Forget about it. Just look at the campaign trail, and you can clearly see time is running out. Both campaigns throwing everything but the kitchen sink at these final days. Donald Trump and Mike Pence hitting the trail together. You're looking at live pictures of the event that they'll be hitting up in Pennsylvania. Their show of force together to take the stage any minute now. We'll bring that to you live when it begins. But up against renewed focus on her email controversy, Hillary Clinton this morning may be throwing the kitchen sink in as well.
We just learned that said kitchen sink is a 60-second television spot going up in battleground states. It's the political advertising way of saying, you're betting on emails? I will raise you Access Hollywood.
Putting a wife to work is a very dangerous thing. When I come home and dinner's not ready, I go through the roof. Grab them by the and when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
And because that isn't blunt enough,
right.
Clinton will be introduced in Florida today by Alicia Machado. She is the former Miss Universe who says Donald Trump called her Miss Piggy, among other things. And all of this is happening with the latest CNN poll showing Hillary Clinton with a 4-point edge right now. That is shrinking. Let's start now with CNN senior political correspondent Brianna Keilar. Brianna, this ad is a doozy.
This may be the most scathing ad that Hillary Clinton's campaign has put together, John and Kate. It's going to run in 8 states. It uses Donald Trump's words against him. And it comes as Hillary Clinton has 3 stops in Florida today, including in Dade City, where we're told by campaign officials that she's going to be really targeting a demographic that can help deliver the election for her. She's going to be talking to women and girls, and she's going to be focusing on some of the things that Donald Trump has said. For instance, Alicia Machado introducing her, as you mentioned, and also just sort of, talking about Donald Trump threatening to sue these accusers who have said that he forcibly kissed or groped them. She's lost some momentum since the FBI made clear that they're looking into her top aide, Huma Abedin's emails, and she's trying to turn this back on Donald Trump.
All right. Brianna Keilar. And actually, let me ask you one question while I have you here. James Comey. The Clinton team going hard against the FBI director still.
Yeah, they are. This is ever since James Comey alerted committee and ranking members on the Hill that there had been some emails found on his computer of his estranged wife, Huma Abedin, top aide to Hillary Clinton. The response of the Clinton campaign and those backing her has been to go after James Comey. And one of the reasons they're doing this is they're trying to say he has a double standard for Hillary specifically because the FBI has been looking since the summer into links Donald Trump's sphere and Russia. We saw the administration say that Russia is behind these hackings of the DNC and the Clinton campaign. Times report that intelligence officials had found or a computer device in the Trump organization bank. Could be innocuous, maybe not, but here's what Robbie Mook, the head of Clinton.
Director Comey felt it was incumbent, had some information he'd never even looked at, connections to Russia. We know that the Russian 17 agencies have all agreed on that the Russians they stole emails from our campaign, and it was James Comey to block that information from getting released. So we just want all this information from both candidates.
So the Clinton campaign there, guys, as you voters not to pay too much heed to what the FBI is doing. This is a partisan witch hunt that is unfair to Hillary Clinton.
Here, look over there. Brandon, great to see you. Thank you. He is live, King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, waiting for Stage. Jason, why this show of force today?
Well, for a couple of reasons. First, let's talk about where we are, a suburb of Pennsylvania. The GOP, the Trump campaign, knows that if they have any hope at all of taking over the state of Pennsylvania, they've got to win over voters in suburbs like where we are right now. That's why the campaign feels it's so important for them to deliver their message here today. Also, let's talk about that message. The message is in terms of 2 points. First of all, Obamacare. Second message, the Clinton email. Starting first with Obamacare. You know, we have a lot of GOP physicians that are here in this room. Mike Pence is going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting. He's going to be talking about some of the things that need to be repealed and replaced, dealing with Obamacare. Also, another message he's going to be talking about are those premiums. 25% or more in the state of Pennsylvania and other states such as Arizona, according to the campaign. He's also going to be talking about bringing home the GOP, bringing home GOP leaders in this last stretch of the race. And Donald Trump himself will be here. He's going to be talking about those Clinton emails. You know, he spoke about this last night, bringing in a new attack, talking about Clinton's bad judgment, he said, not only has an effect on the country, but the country's children. Talked about his son Barron, saying that he was offended for his son. That's interesting also because if you think about the attack ad that Hillary Clinton has been putting out, one where she has Donald Trump speaking with all of his rhetoric, children listening to some of the things that he said, now Donald Trump sort of flipping the script and bringing in the affected children as well. So an important message that's being delivered here today. The place where we are, it being a suburb, is important. The message is important to the GOP as well.
All right,
Jason Carroll for us in King of Prussia. That's Senator John Barrasso behind him speaking right now.
Speaking forcefully.
Speaking forcefully. I think I heard a lot of the senator right there, not quite as much as Jason. But the point is that you have Republican leadership, Republican members up there on stage with Donald Trump, which is an interesting picture and a little bit different than we've seen over the last few months.
And
so that's very
Mike
interesting.
Pence's messages today.
Indeed. All right, let's bring in our panel right now. Joining us, CNN political analyst and national political reporter for the New York Times, Alex Burns, the mayor of Miami Beach and host of Sirius XM's The Mayor, Philip Levine. He is a Hillary Clinton surrogate. Also joining us, CNN political commentator and veteran of 2 Republican presidential campaigns, Margaret Hoover, and John J. Laval, regional vice chairman of the New York Republican State Committee and a Donald Trump supporter. Margaret, rewind a little bit. That Hillary Clinton ad, a 60-second spot. It talks about the Access Hollywood tape where Donald Trump brags about being able to grab women in the genitals and get away with it because he's famous. This is the Trump card, no pun intended, that the Clinton campaign can pull. Maybe the last one.
Well, they're betting on it, and it's ironic that he happens to be in the Philadelphia suburbs right now because new polling just came out this morning after that Access Hollywood tape came out demonstrating that Donald Trump has plummeted there specifically because of that tape. 83% of respondents say they were deeply bothered by seeing that tape. Women have totally shed. I mean, he's hemorrhaging in that part of the region. And so you see them talking about Michigan, you see them talking about New Mexico because these other states that they have said they needed to win to get to the White House are out of reach now.
It's interesting, though, that this kind of throwing the kitchen sink at it ad. I mean, Alex, let's bring you in on this. You've been doing reporting on the Clinton campaign's kind of posture now in these last 7 days. From what your reporting is and when you see this ad that they put out today on the heels of the national security ad they put out yesterday, is this a campaign that is confident or is this a campaign that is nervous?
Oh, I think Margaret really hit the nail on the head there in terms of just how Democrats and how folks who are opposed to Donald Trump see the electoral map at this point. That, you know, you hear Clinton not introducing new arguments against Donald Trump, not going into states where we haven't seen any kind of Democratic presence before. You see her and her allies trying to shore up the strength that they already have. So trying to make sure that women stay where they are and turn out to vote in this campaign. Most of what you hear Democrats doing is aimed at turnout in places like Pennsylvania, North Carolina. We'll see Clinton in Arizona and Ohio again later this week, because the way they see the math, Kate, is that if basically everything stays as it was, a number. Now, Donald Trump, because he is kind of backed into a corner just geographically, is trying to test the map in a couple places where we haven't seen things so hotly contested so far. And frankly, we probably won't know whether we get any results from that until Election Day, because it's really too late to see an impact in public polling.
just 7 days from now. John Jay, the ad that we saw a little clip of it right now. It's Donald Trump's words. So is there anything wrong with it?
The Democrats are desperate. The Clinton campaign's desperate right now. They're falling apart. The early voting, which always favors the Democrats, they're behind where they were in 2012 in early voting in percentages. Yes, they are.
They're
not behind Trump. They're behind where Obama was, and Trump is ahead of where Romney is. That's a fact.
And state by state, some of the states are different, right? Everything's relative. North Carolina,
percentage-wise, Trump is doing better than Romney did.
The Democrats feel
Clinton
very
is
confident.
doing worse than
Florida
Obama.
is somewhere where the Democrats aren't doing as well.
Listen,
but it's a state by state.
She's buried, and, you know, Comey had to come forward and say this to even the tables. She ran around this country telling everyone I was cleared. They found thousands upon thousands of emails that she didn't turn over.
Chief, they found
a lot of new
650,000 emails that belong to Anthony Weiner. We don't know how many.
And I will tell you, as the chairman of the largest county in New York,
John, are you not listening to the words coming out of our mouths? We have to fact check you live. Stop.
No,
Stop.
these are facts.
Yes,
People
there
are
were
calling to change their
650,000
early
emails
votes
related
for
to
Clinton, by
Anthony
the way.
Weiner's investigation.
We're getting a lot of these inquiries.
You know I love you. Let's stop it right now. There are 650,000 emails related to the Anthony Weiner investigation. We do not know if they are related to Hillary Clinton. We do not know what percentage is related at all to Hillary Clinton, what went through Hillary Clinton's server. We don't know anything. Just stick with the facts.
It is
you guys have a good argument
to think
without taking the
Jim
lead.
Comey is going to make that announcement when not some of those 650,000 emails pertain to Hillary Clinton. And I'm going to bet right now that there are secure emails that are on those.
Well, but you don't know, and again, you don't know how many. Mr. Levine, Mayor, go ahead.
Well, you know what's incredible? John is the chair of the Republican Party of New York, and hear what he just said? It was John, the FBI director had to come in to turn the tables. That's what the head of the Republican Party of New York just said on TV, on CNN. And the people of South Florida, who come from countries like Venezuela, where they've actually seen law enforcement turn the table for elections, should be highly concerned based on what we just heard.
Hang on now.
That's a terrible thing to say. I don't believe the FBI director.
Are you saying the FBI director is acting like he's in a junta in South America?
I actually do not believe the FBI director did this on purpose. I think he's a good guy that made a very poor decision. Over 100 attorney generals came forward and have said this was a bad decision by the FBI. Listen, we know what's going on with the Russian hacking. Why didn't he release the Russian hacking information? Totally connected to Donald Trump's campaign. I mean, how would we feel if the IRS commissioner came out right now and said, I feel obligated to release Donald Trump's tax returns? Do you think that would tilt the scale?
Comey should not have come out and said Clinton is cleared because he was wrong then. He was going to be wrong in the end when we find that there was criminal activity.
Understand it was a bad decision.
We're not going to focus on emails. So is everything you're saying.
Now, look, it's a huge amount of conjecture from both sides here. I mean, look, what I hope Republicans who are wondering what the heck has happened to our party and what the heck is going on in this election, hear some of these resonant arguments, right? I feel like I'm living in this deja vu nightmare. In 2012, the Republican Party was telling us we were going to win. Mitt Romney was going to win in Michigan. Mitt Romney was making serious inroads in Pennsylvania. Look, we don't have enough Republican voters to win an election. We have to win independents. We have to win women. We have to win Hispanics. We have to win minorities. We're not winning in any of those areas, y'all. We need to really rethink what this party stands for and really start selling it on national elections. Trying to get the FBI director to be on your side, on either side, this is not what American justice is.
That is not what I said.
This is what you're saying. You're saying he's
not
in
at all.
He turned the tables.
He came out and said she was cleared. He was mistaken. He needed to correct that wrong. Now the tables are even.
The tables are even.
Let's do this. Let's move to a different subject to see if we can do one at a time on this one. Alex Burns.
Good luck.
Alex Burns, you are in a safe, undisclosed location.
Exactly. You're in the coat closet
Let's
with
talk
the
about
little
Russia.
handy cam.
Let's talk about Russia right now because the Clinton campaign clearly wants to talk about Russia. I mean, Robbie Mook yesterday all but called a conference call to say, you know, why aren't you talking about Russia and what the FBI is doing on this situation? Do you think the Clinton campaign is successfully muddying the waters here?
I think frankly, the panel that you just heard and that I listened to from a safe distance shows the degree to which the waters have just been poured. I think that reintroducing the email issue, as Comey did on Friday was certainly not helpful for Hillary Clinton. What you've seen is Democrats essentially throw the kitchen sink, and really multiple kitchen sinks, every kitchen sink they can find, back at Donald Trump. The Russia issue is one that Democrats like talking about. I think that there is a sense, certainly among political strategists generally, that probably moves fewer votes than some of the issues related to women and race and Trump's character. But if you're talking about who can be trusted with national security, that's sort of the safe place for Clinton folks to go right now at a tricky moment when they really do want to stop talking about the emails.
I mean, but both sides just throwing bombs left and right at each other in just kind of these hyperbolic terms. Case in point, hello everyone that's sitting in front of me. Phil, you went hard at John Jay on the last topic. On this one, on the connection, any connection between the Trump campaign and Russia, the New York Times, the Trump campaign points me to the New York Times, which says, funny that they're citing the New York Times considering how much they hate the New York Times, but I digress. This, law enforcement officials say that none of the investigations so far have found any conclusive or direct link between Mr. Trump and the Russian government. Is this just a distraction that the Clinton campaign is trying to pursue in these last 7 days?
Listen, we know what's going on. We understand that Putin is behind, Donald. We understand the rhetoric that's going on.
How do we know? Again, we don't know what is in the emails,
clearly have
just like we
seen
don't
the
know
connection between his former campaign manager. They're already investigating his former campaign manager, between links with him in Russia and the Ukraine. I mean, come on. It's there. We know it's there. Why don't we have that released? Why can't we see it? Why can't we understand what's going on?
What we do know is that the DNC was hacked by people from the Russian government.
Right.
I mean, what we do know is Donald Trump has expressed that it would be great if we had a different sort of diplomatic relationship with Russia, a favorable one, a friendly one. He's tried to normalize this long-time belligerent relationship I grew up in the 80s. Who's friends with Russia? I mean,
John?
Ronald Reagan was, as a matter of fact. That's who's friends with Russia.
You know who says he's friends with Russia? Donald Trump. Donald Trump, in an interview in 2013 that's going around today, says that he knows and has a relationship with Vladimir Putin. Let's listen to that.
Do you have a relationship with Vladimir Putin, a conversational relationship, or anything that you feel you have sway or influence over his government?
I do have a relationship, and I can tell you that he's very interested in what we're doing here today. He's probably very interested in what you and I are saying today, and I'm sure he's going to be seeing it in some form.
Since 2013, he had a relationship. Now he says he doesn't.
It is absolutely imperative that the president of this country forms an alliance with countries like Russia to fight ISIS.
John, this was 2013, and this disputes directly with Donald Trump.
Oh, that was Al-Qaeda. I'm sorry.
No.
We have let international terrorism get out of hand.
What Donald Trump said is in rallies and in the last debate, he said he has no relationship with Russia, no relationship with Vladimir Putin. He's never met him. He has no relationship. The only thing he has is Vladimir Putin saying nice things about him. I do have a relationship.
Establishing any kind of formal relationship with Russia.
You're telling me once again, just don't believe what Donald Trump. No. Do you have a relationship with Vladimir Putin is the question.
He's an international businessman.
I do have a relationship, but this international businessman has said as recently to the country in the last debate that he has no relationship with Vladimir Putin. Are you telling me we should just stop believing what Donald Trump says?
What he says you can believe. You can look at his business relationship.
Which one?
He has a financial disclosure which discloses all of his business relationships.
Oh, come on, the one he
102
created
pages
himself?
that you could read. I guess you didn't read it.
Let me just, you know what? I have here. I have the
Everyone, John Jay, Margaret Hoover, Mayor Levine, Alex Burns, I envy your safety. Thank you all for joining us this morning.
That was fun. Let's do it again. Donald Trump's taxes are back in the spotlight. No, he is still not going to release his tax returns, but a new report offers new insight into how he may have avoided paying millions in taxes using a maneuver that is now illegal. That is next.
Plus, some can-do comments from President Obama about what he thinks Hillary Clinton would face if she wins, why he says she will be attacked for being moody and emotional, and just a vicious phone attack against a presidential candidate from a man who claims to be a pro-Trump white nationalist. Hear how the Trump campaign is reacting. That's coming up.